Hello, grade 7 students. Our topic for this week is about properties of the operations on integers. First property is the closure property. So two integers, a and b, that are added and multiplied remain as integers. So a plus b is equal to integer and a times b is also an integer. So example is 2 plus 5 equals 7. And 2 times 5 equals 10. So, kahit ano yung number dito and dito, the important thing is integer pa rin yung kanyang result. So, how about the subtraction? So, a minus b. So, let's say for example, 2 minus 5 is equal to negative 3. So, this is also an integer. So example number 1, this is a closure property of addition, and then next is the closure property of multiplication, and also the last one is it is also closed under subtraction, the closure property. Next is the commutative property. So commutative property is changing the order of the addends or factors does not affect the result. So kahit ano yung order ng factors niya or addends, so hindi pa rin maapektuhan yung result niya. So a plus b equals b plus a, and a times b equals b times a. So example, 2 plus 5 and 5 plus 2. So exchange yung kanilang order, but still the same pa rin yun ang kanilang result, which is 7. Next is 3 plus 5 plus 2, and then 5 plus 2 plus 3. So kahit iniba yung order nila, same pa rin yung kanilang result, which is 10. So example 1 and 2 is the commutative property of addition. Commutative property of addition. And then the third example is 2 times 5 and 5 times 2. So they are still the same result, which is 10. The next is 2 times 3 times 4 equals 3 times 4 times 2. Pareho pa rin yung kanilang result, which is 24. So example 3 and 4 is the commutative property of multiplication. The third one is the associative property. So associative property is changing the grouping of the addends or factors does not affect the result. So lagi lang natin tandaan na kahit i-group man siya or iba-iba yung grupo niya, pareha pa rin yung kanyang result. So example, 3 plus 5 plus 2 equals 3 plus 5 plus 2. So magkaiba man yung process nila, pero pero pareho pa rin yung kanilang result, which is 10. So number 1 example is associative property of addition. Next is 2 times 3 times 4, and then 2 times 3 times 4. So, dito, group yung 2 and 3. And then, dito naman, sa side na to is group yung 3 and 4. So, 6 times 4 is 24. And then, 2 times 12 is 24. Pareho yung kanilang result, which is 24. So, number 2 example is associative property of multiplication. Number 4, distributive property for any integers a, b, and c. So as what you have observed, we will need to distribute this. Ganyan lang. So example, negative 6 times 5 plus 3. So, i-distribute natin yung negative 6 sa 5. I-multiply natin yung negative 6 sa 5. And then negative 6 times 3. So, we will use distributive property. So, negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. Plus, negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. So, negative 3. So, don't forget the sign. So, positive times negative is negative. So, negative 48. So, negative 30 minus 18 is negative 48. So, Dito yung gamitin natin yung distributive property, but to check your answer, you will also need this or use this way to solve the problem. So negative 6 times 8, negative 48. So that means your answer is correct. Number 2, negative 4 times 4 minus 2. So i-distribute naman natin yung 4 times 4 and then 4 times 2. So 4 times 4 minus 4 times 2. So 16 minus 8 is 8, and then on the left side 4 times 2 is 8. So they have the same result. Okay, number 5 is identity property. So first is additive identity property. The sum of any number and 0 is the given number itself. So for example, 5 plus 0 equals 5 and 8 plus 0 equals 8. So kahit anong number na i-add mo sa 0, so the answer is the given number itself. So the identity element for addition is 0. Okay, next is multiplicative identity property. The product of any number and 1 is the given number itself. So example, 5 times 1 equals 5 and 8 times 1 equals 5. So kahit anong number na i-multiply mo sa 1, so yung answer niya is the given number itself. So the identity element for multiplication is 1. Number 6, inverse property. So first is additive inverse property. So the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. So example number 1, 5. So positive 5, its inverse is negative 5. So positive 5 plus negative 5 is 0. Number 2, negative 8. So the inverse of negative 8 is positive 8. So negative 8 plus 8 is equal to 0. So don't forget, the inverse is the opposite of the number or the integer. So number 3 is negative 9 plus positive 9 is 0. So that is the additive inverse property. Okay, next is multiplicative inverse property. The product of any number and its multiplicative inverse is or reciprocal is 1. So example number 1, 5. So understood na yung 5 is may over 1 na yan siya na denominator. So its reciprocal is 1 over 5. So equal to 1. And then negative 8, its reciprocal is negative 1 over 8 is equal to 1. Okay, the last one is zero property of multiplications. The product of any number and 0 is 0, of course. Okay, 5 times 0 equals 0. So don't forget that the product of any number and 0 is 0. So any number multiplied by 0, its result is 0. Grade 7, week 5 activity. So complete the table. Which property of real number justifies each statement? And B, rewrite the following expressions using the given property.